What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to film a video about my best thrift tips. I often get comments on my TikTok videos, my Instagram videos, even my YouTube videos saying that I find the best stuff, and the truth is you can too. There is absolutely no secret to it. You may have even heard some of these tips before, but this is everything that I use almost every time I go to the thrift store, and I find it valuable, so I think you will too. I'm going to include all this information in a blog post on my website, NYC Nicole, as well, so you can always refer back to it. Also, these are in absolutely no particular order. Here we go. Tip number 1 is to go often. Thrift stores restock their clothes daily, hourly even sometimes. Anytime I go, there's always tons of racks coming out. So there's always new inventory. The more often you go, the more likely you are to find something. Tip number 2 is to use your imagination. I think it's so important to get creative and use your imagination when you are looking through racks of clothing. It's important to see the potential of a piece, think about different ways you can style it, what you think it'll look good with, if you think it will look good with other things in your closet. The more you can visualize wearing a piece, the better of a buy it is. Sometimes things hanging on a rack can look really sad, so if you use your imagination and envision what it could be, then you're more likely to find a gem. Tip number 3 is kind of a big one. It's to know your personal style. For me, I like bright colors, bold prints, big collars, oversized, loose fits. If you know your personal style and you know what you like, you'll know what you're looking for and you'll be able to find it easier on a rack. If you don't know your personal style, good news, I actually think the best place to find it and where I really refined my personal style was in the thrift store. So if you're interested on hearing tips about that, let me know in the comments and I can work up a blog post or a video about it. Tip number 4, this one seems silly, but this measuring tape has become my best friend when I'm in a thrift store. You're not always able to try things on, and so being able to measure garments is the next best thing to figuring out if something's gonna fit you. So really handy. You can buy one on Amazon or even at your local grocery store. A loose measuring tape like this is a great investment. Tip number 5 is to shop outside of your size. So for example, if you're a size medium, you should look in the smalls and also the larges. Sizes can be jumbled when they get put back, but also sizing isn't consistent for brands and also clothing types. For example, if you're looking for vintage, tends to run smaller, so you want to look in other sizes because you'll be more likely to find things that fit. A follow-up to that though is to be careful about what sections you're looking in and where you're pulling from. You never want to shop from a nearly empty section, especially in an underserved segment like plus size, for example. It's important for me to leave sizes there for people who have no other shopping options and who rely on thrift stores to get their clothes in certain sizes. So if a section is looking light, typically I'll skip over it altogether. Tip number 6 is to check the put back racks. Usually they're by the fitting room areas, or to look at the new racks that they're bringing out. Sometimes people will do the digging for you, and when they go through their cart, they will put things back, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. It just means that they didn't want them. You might. So definitely check the putback racks and the new racks coming out. A lot of the times they aren't really organized, but you can sift through them. I found so many amazing gems on racks of fresh merchandise. So if you see racks hanging out in places that they look like they don't belong, always look through them. Tip number 7 is to learn your store's discount days. Sometimes it's certain days where they have sales, other times there's something for sale every day. If you know what that schedule looks like, you're more likely to find an amazing deal. I love to shop on a good 50% off day. Tip number 8 is to shop off season. So for example, if it's summertime, look through the winter coats. If it's wintertime, look at the bathing suits. A lot of the times people's shopping habits are to shop for the season that they're in or the next season. So it gives opportunity to find pieces in sections that maybe people aren't sifting through during that time of year. Tip number 9, when I go thrifting, I always love to wear clothes that I'm easily able to layer on top of, like t-shirts, tank tops, leggings, or like tight pants. Fitting rooms aren't always open, or sometimes there's a line, and sometimes you can just be kind of lazy like me and not want to take off clothes to put other ones on. So it's really convenient to wear clothes that you can layer on top of, so you're able to try on anything pretty much anywhere. Tip number 10, leave your bag in the car, opt for a fanny pack or a belt bag instead. When I walk into a thrift store, literally my eyes are like going everywhere, and oftentimes I'll end up wandering away from my cart. And so that means I either leave my bag unattended in my cart or I have to carry it with me. And the best way to thrift is with two hands, hands-free. You don't want to leave your bag in the cart because you just don't want anything to get stolen from it or lost. You don't want to take the risk, so highly recommend either just leaving a bag in the car or using a belt bag. I absolutely love a little fanny pack across the chest. Tip number 11, take a reusable bag with you. If you don't already take a reusable bag everywhere you go, then honestly you need to rethink your practices. Take a reusable bag to put your stuff in, or carry it out in your hands, which is oftentimes what I do, and I just throw it in the trunk or the back seat. Tip number 12, this is so important. It's to check your clothes for stains or imperfections. Just because something has a stain or has a hole in it doesn't mean that you can't still buy it. I buy a lot of things with stains and holes in it all the time, but it's just good to know what you're getting yourself into so that there are no surprises. Tip number 13, kind of a follow-up to tip number 12, alter your clothes. If you're thrifting your clothes, a lot of the times you are paying a lot less than you would at a retail store, so there is a bit more money in the budget to customize and fit your clothes for you. Find yourself a good tailor. Take pieces that aren't perfect, for example, pants that are a little too long or sleeves that are a little too long, something you need to tailor in more. See the potential that a piece of clothing can have if you take it to a tailor and get it fit. Honestly, it will feel like you have a custom wardrobe for a fraction of the price. So always be open-minded to altering or fixing things, upcycling things to fit your vision or fit your needs. Let me know if you found any of those tips helpful. If you use them during your next thrift trip, come back here and comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any other tips to share, please leave those in the comments as well. I would love to learn from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, share with your friends. Head to my blog for the full list of all of my thrift tips written out, so you didn't have to take notes if you didn't. It's all on my blog. Head there. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I share a lot of my thrift trips in depth. Also, everything that I find from my thrift trips, I share to my channels. And check out my secondhand store, the Niche Shop, all linked below. Thank you again so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye.